SCL Season 22 Daytona Speed Weeks. This is the Gatorade Twin 125s Race 2. We are just getting over here on PS4 for you new drivers like Del Boy. SCL has been around since 2010. We've run 21 seasons over on PS3, and we're just making the jump now. So you come in at the right time. Daytona Speed Weeks just started on Friday and runs straight through to the 500 next week. Make sure you get a chance to check out the website. Those of you that are connected to the community, check out the website. It's got all the schedules and series for all the different disciplines. This is but one of the several different disciplines we run. So today's Gatorade Twin 125 race number 2. You guys have already qualified on the board. As far as your times go, the Twin 125s, which I need to pull the computer up here so I can get you your starting positions, will set the field for the Daytona 500. We do have 18 drivers on the rostrum. That means that 16 are going to be securing their way into the field, and 2 are going to be going on the alternate list. Now here's how that qualifying works, ladies and gentlemen. The front 2 qualifiers, first and second on the time chart, that was Tiernissel and Hosack. They are the automatic front row starters next week. They are locked into the race. Hosack is out here with no pressure on him. The rest of the field is set by the Twin 125s up to the 10th spot, meaning that in this particular race, which race 2 sets the outside row, it means that the top 4 finishers here, besides Hosack, other than him who's already locked in, they'll be starting 4, 6, 8, and 10 in the 500. So it's the top 4 unless Hosack is in the top 4, and then it would be the top 5 in the race are going through. So that's the cutoff point. Top 4 unless Hosack is one of the top 4. So that's what you're shooting for, and then when all that's done, hang around, because then we set 11 through 16 based on provisionals. Points provisionals from last season for the veterans, and then once those run out, we go to the best times in qualifying remaining that haven't already been in. That'll set the field of 16, and then the other 2 drivers and anybody else who enters, next week will be on the alternate list. Definitely, even if you end up on the alternate list, I highly recommend you show up on race day, because there's usually at least 1 or 2 that can't make the race, and then you can usually get in. But any hoot, we'll get you guys ready for the rundown here in the Twin 125s. It is 50 laps, 125 miles here at the Daytona International Speedway. We will have a automatic pit stop at the beginning of the race. The race will get us rolling. We will line up single file in your starting order. When we come by, we'll give everybody the chance to come into the pits and top off their fuel. Under spec, it tends to give you random amounts of fuel, so you can come in, fill up your fuel, be all ready to go, and then come out for the start. So as soon as you go into the pit stop, you make your pit stop, you come back out and get into the starting order that you're in single file. The next time by, we will line everybody up double file, and then we will take the green the next time by. When we're coming to the starts and the restarts, the start is double file, the restarts after cautions are single file. And on the way back, we go when the leader hits the line. We want you to maintain a half a car length to 1 car length to the car in front of you. No more than 1 car length and no less than a half a car length. The pace speed will be 75 miles per hour. And as far as the caution rules go, gentlemen and ladies, the caution rules are as follows. It must be a multi-car incident to be a caution. It has to be contact between 2 cars and be a full wreck. A little wall kiss, a little losing of the draft. It's not a caution. It has to be a serious incident. When that takes place, the marshals or the drivers can call the caution. And when the caution comes out, this is very important. We do not freeze the field. When the caution comes out, you race back to the line. We do old school rules here. So you're going to race back to the line. Once you may pass for position on the way back to the line, but same rules apply. It's still clean racing. be careful on the way back. You cross the line, line up single file in the order that you crossed. Once everybody gets lined up in the pits are closed as soon as the caution comes out. When everybody lines up, we will then announce the lead lap. The lap down cars will pull into the inside lane next to the leader, like form an inside row. Lap down cars under a caution have the wave around option. You can choose to take your lap back. However, if you do, you cannot pit. And if you choose that you want to pit but stay a lap down, then you may do that. You won't take the wave around. But if you take the wave around, you cannot pit. You have to start at the back of the field. So keep that in mind. What else we got on here? We will have the final 5 laps of the race are green to the finish. So the magic number's 49. When the leader takes lap 49, we're green to the finish. We know we're on the new software, guys. We'll tell you what we've learned in testing in this week. There's a very long draft. You don't need to be all up on each other. The best way to pass is to get a run, So if you don't want to have a caution fest today, then show a little patience. If you go on the inside of somebody trying to pass them on the bottom, you got to hold the bottom. If you're not holding the bottom, you have to check up or get on the brakes. So as long as we follow all that, I think we'll be okay. Once we get going green, everything seems to be fine. Just keep in mind the way the draft works on this game. You got plenty of room. You're actually faster a little farther away from the cars. So set up your passes well and we'll have a clean race. Otherwise, we'll be spending a lot of time at 75 miles per hour. This is Daytona after all. Your other race marshals today are Rita St. James, Twindy 1. Tony Mooskin's a long veteran. He can serve that purpose to an extent too. Pay attention to what they're telling you if they give you a little instruction. I'll give you guys your starting order here for this race after I type in the damn code to the computer that keeps shutting down on me.
And there's no speed limit in the pits.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot to mention that. Yes, there is no the pit road rules. There is no speed limit in the pits. Make sure when we get into the lobby in here, besides setting your pit stops up, make sure that you have your your pit road speed limiter button so that you can turn it off. Otherwise, you're going to lose a boatload of time and be out to lunch. We have no speed limit, but on the way in and out, we want cars to pick a lane, take the left or the right-hand side. And when you're racing off, even under yellow, there's no speed limit, but you got to pick a lane. If you ghost through somebody to beat them to the blend line at the end of pit row, you're giving that position back. So you have to stay on one side or the other. Pick the left or the right. If you're faster than a car you're coming down pit row, pick that other lane. And then you'll pass them like that. But other than that, let me give you guys your starting order here. Starting on the pole will be Hossack, front row starter, starting on the pole. Starting second is Tony Moose, also from the Benson Speed Equipment team. Starting third, the Busch Open winner last night, Cold from JME Motorsports. Starting fifth will be Rita St. James, JME Motorsports. Starting sixth, Baron von Stosch from JME. Seventh will be yours truly, Carlin-Hicks. Eighth will be Twindy, TOW Racing, the two-time defending Daytona 500 champion. Ninth will be Del Boy, rookie driver making his debut. 10th will be, wait a minute, 10th will be, I must have...
You missed out fourth. You missed out fourth, Colin.
Missed out fourth. Okay, I got you. All right, let me go from the board. I'm sorry, I'm editing along the way here. All right, Hossack is first. Tony Moose second. Cold is third. Rita St. James fourth. Baron von Stosch fifth. Carlin-Hicks sixth. Twindy is seventh. Del Boy is eighth. It's PT is ninth. And Dave 3KX is 10th. That's your starting order. And as soon as I get us finally situated here, we can get started. Just one second.
you got disconnected, Twindy.
Okay, sorry about that. Did he blow his motor? That's too bad. All right, sorry about that. But when the crew chief starts running off with key equipment, you got to go grab him. All right.
No, it looks like the backup car didn't treat him too well.
That happens. All right, guys, like I said, those of you new, make sure you check out the website. It's got the full schedule. We have events all through next Sunday for Speed Weeks, and we're just getting season 22 open. We run around 10-week seasons, and we take 4 to 6 weeks of an off season, come back. We've done 21 of them in the last 7 years. Just getting over here on the project cars, too. Everybody's got their starting order. We've got all 10 drivers ready. I believe we're ready to go. I'm going to call it to go into the next room. You're all in the right cars, I see. Hopefully we don't get any glitches like me getting automatically disqualified or something. But if we do, then we just call into the room again, and we've got the drivers meeting through, so you guys are ready to roll. But yeah, we're going to make that pit stop at the beginning of the race. It's just largely because there's those glitches with spec racing where it gives people different amounts of fuel, gives you a chance to top off. We are doing 50 laps, 125 miles, 200 kilometers of the 500-kilometer distance of the big race. So it's a fair amount of time. But like I said, we've learned from practice this week, and we've learned from this race. It's just be careful, you know. Give it a moment, guys. If it stays on its loading thing, we can always make another room. But yeah, I'll just reiterate, especially to the new guys, when the cautions are sometimes the hardest thing to understand. But yeah, when you hear the caution called, you're going to hear the officials yell, "Caution's out, racing back, pits are closed." That's what you're going to hear, and it just means keep racing, race back to the start-finish line, cross the line, and then, don't pass anybody. Then line up in order, and from there we get everybody lined up, go through the pits, all that kind of stuff. Once the software everybody gets used to it. We used to run 300-400 mile races in this series, caution free, one or two, quite regularly. All right, is everybody else stuck in limbo here?
Yes.
All right. All right, well, it's going to be a new room then. I'll call you guys back in.